Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing great. Welcome back to another episode of Siralim Ultimate where once again we've got some serious business to take care of. Notably, we have to take down the nether boss Chroma. This is going to be a tough fight. But before we do that, there's something I want to take care of. Now, my initial plan was that I'm not going to worry about nether stones until after I've already beaten all of the nether bosses, where I don't know how far we are through the list. We can check that pretty easily by going to the reference lists, I think. No, the codex? Game information. Nether bosses, and it'll show them in order. So we beat Jiran, that was a pretty easy fight. Chroma is going to be a more difficult fight. So we've got basically this whole giant list. Chroma onwards, I think. Yeah, we've only beaten this group. We're like a third of the way through, maybe. Anyway, my initial plan was before I start bothering with nether stones, I'll go through the entire list of nether bosses. This is the third time fighting them, but the first time on camera. And obviously fighting them for the third time means fighting them in their true and final forms. So my plan was I'll do nether stones after all of that for a couple of reasons, because nether stones kind of gets into the very deep and complex part of build customization, because it really does increase the level of complexity quite a bit. And also, none of the nether stones that I found were ones that I'm like, I need this right away. All of them were like, I could use this, but then I'd have to, for it to be ideal, I'd have to have a slightly different build. But then, last episode, I think it was last episode, maybe the one before that, time is kind of blending together for me. We found one of the best ones, and I just need to remember which one it was. It was the one where the trait it was giving was Barbarian. So not the not the highest rarity by any means. We've got others that have traits and they have a spell. But this one, I will... already lost it. It was one. It was this one. It was the Shimmering Prism of Rarity 177, which is giving us a bit of health, but more importantly, it's giving us that trait. Let me socket it into the. Okay. The cool thing is, it shows you who the artifact, the item is equipped on. Although if you remember your team order, then you can remember it that way, creature 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and our Dread Knight at the end. I'm gonna go ahead, I should put something in its spell slot, but he very rarely gets a turn is the problem. But nonetheless, occasionally he does get a turn, so I should put... You know what? Hang on a second. What would the... well, before I get bogged down in this completely unrelated tangent, let me do the thing that I said I was going to do, which is that I'm going to equip the Shimmering Prism into the nether slot. And it's done. It's equipped. And one thing I'll show you is that, okay, so most things, if you unsocket them, they're destroyed, but not nether stones. If you unsocket a nether stone, I don't know if I've shown this on in the series yet. Even if I have, it bears repeating once in a while. That nether stones, if you unsocket them, you have to pay a bit of brimstone, a tiny amount, but you will get them back. So, yeah, it shows it as though you've found the item, which in a way you have, but really all you've done is you've taken it out of the item and put it back in your inventory, but I'm just gonna socket that back in. Of course, you don't want to do this unnecessarily because it does cost brimstone, and depending on the level of the item, it costs more and more. So we're paying like 44,000 brimstone to socket this nether stone, and you don't want to be wasting resources unnecessarily. Anyway, let's go ahead and put that back in. I should have probably done that demonstration with a lower level nether stone, but we have the brimstone to spare. And I think another thing while I'm here that I want to check out is Lim Ultimate Artifact spell slot. What does the helmet spell slot do? The helmet... Oh, this is brilliant. The helmet has a chance to cast on provoking. This is brilliant because we now have, if I'm interpreting this trait correctly, provoke at the start of combat. So what we should do is we should create... What spell would we want our Dreadwhite to cast at the start of combat? Archangel's Blessing is always a good one, but at the start of combat, chances are we'll be at full health. And we'll gain a few buffs. Our Animatus will collect a lot of buffs. A viable option. Another option, I think a better option, is to put Arbitration, because it'll steal buffs from the enemy in case they've started with something really irritating like Rebirth, and it'll give them to us. So kind of doing the same thing that Archangel's Blessing is doing, but in a more useful way that has the dual effect of debuffing the enemy or neutralizing their buffs and potentially buffing us, depending on what they started combat with. So let's give you this arbitration thing. Another thing I'm gonna figure out is what the hell is going on with the seemingly miscoded spell slots. The spell gems that our creatures are using. Alright, so... Because when we were in combat, I believe this blank slate was showing up as death colored, and the Animatuses was showing up as sorcery colored, and they were functioning properly. That wasn't the issue. The issue was that it was just bothering me that it was seemingly the wrong color. Now, I don't know if... Whoa. Hang on. What am I doing? Accidentally clicked past the thing I wanted to do. Alright. What if I unequip it and re-equip it, will it be the same color when we get into combat? The correct color? Or is there some other property, some strange synergy that is actually changing the spell type? Hard to say. Anyway, I think that's enough dilly-dallying. I think it's time for us to jump in. We have whoa, I've already forgotten. This is the screen I need to be on. I need to ratchet the realm instability all the way back up. And let's give ourselves 380 is pretty fantastic. Resurrect on death. Chance to resist damage. Both pretty bad things, but we might be able to deal with this. Let's see how it goes. Random realm. Let's do a random realm. Resurrect on death is going to make divination candle farming annoying as well. What else do they have? Honestly, other than the resurrection and the resistance, not a lot. They've got extra defense, a little annoying. But you know what? I think we're gonna deal with it. What is your macro, Rift Dancer? You have the Rabid Dementia one, right? Alright. We should just be able to punch our way through. Do these guys have... Oh god, these guys have stand as one. Really annoying. Oh my god. Why did it have to be this garbage? And because they're fused, it's harder for me to tell which one is giving them stand as one. It could even be multiples. It could even be multiples. And they're resurrecting undead. Ugh. This is gonna be a slog. And of course, stand as one, despite them taking 0 damage, is invalidating our corpse explosions. I hate this so much. It is just a bunch of utter garbage. Alright. Yeah, you cannot do that anymore, but you can do something like reincarnation, which should work properly despite you being confused because it is not an offensive spell. What sort of damage does that do? Decent damage. Alright, that was an annoying combat. I mean, it still isn't over, but it should be over soon. Just maybe attack? Yeah, just get lost, dude. Alright. There are 6 more enemies and the master. Let's donate to 4080. Alright, I'm being a bit cautious just because I want to... We haven't collected any of our buffs, which is a little... stand as one and chance to resist damage. How are we ever going to do any damage to any of these pieces of garbage? Maybe a better option instead is to just use reincarnation, because there will be fewer instances of 0 damage, and then maybe our explosions will actually do real damage to them. Okay, I think this might be a better way of fighting. These guys... It is annoying though. It is very annoying. And despite my plan, some of them were still immune to the explosions. Really annoying. Really, really annoying. Yeah, we'll just reincarnate again. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a divination candle summoning floor. I couldn't imagine getting, like, into even one non-mandatory combat under conditions that are this irritating, much less, you know, 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 of them. So let's just do reincarnation. Rebirth was a nice buff to gain. I didn't really mention that. Oh, so annoying. Like, why? Well, why does this trait exist? Ugh. I'm sure it's good for some builds, but I mean, come on. It's not like the enemies are using it in an intelligent way either, right? So that's the other thing. When enemies have it, all it is it's an annoyance. At least that's how I see it. Alright, come on, Vivifar, you've got to shut down these resurrections. Close enough. Close enough. What a bunch of garbage this floor is. Alright, let's... Finally, we get a chance to collect some loot. Put that 380% bonus into action. And now this should help us out a little bit, I think, with the corpse explosions. Enemies are burning, that's good. There's a Pandemonium Shrine, I believe is what these objects are called. What are you gonna do? Just a bunch of garbage. Don't really need a tiny amount of resources. There's so many better outcomes you could have had, but So we'll take it. Once again, let's try and do this. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I mean, I don't even know what to say while we're just waiting for these guys to die. We could speed things along by just disabling battle text. Let's maybe try and punch for a change. I have no idea what's going on. What the hell just happened? I mean, they're dead, but that healing was definitely annoying. Okay. 3 more enemies. Okay, we'll get through them. One of these days we'll get through all of these enemies. Some loot at least. Optional combats. We'll do the optional combats that are giving us favor. Oh, enemies are confused. That could help us out in the boss fight. So let's try and punch them. Yeah, that's not really a viable way of damaging multiple enemies. This is such trash. Ugh. Oh, one thing to keep in mind is that even though our Dreadwhite provokes at the start of combat, once we kill him with reincarnation, the provoke goes back, and he doesn't provoke at the start of every turn. It's just at the start of combat. So it's a one-time thing, but that one-time thing nonetheless could be very useful in a boss fight if the enemy is going first. We shut that resurrection down. No one else is coming back. Okay. 2 enemies. And a master, the nether boss. Down here. Divination candles, which we're not gonna touch. We are invisible. Enemies are silenced. Found another machine part, which is part of this realm's mini quest. Okay, here are... Oh my god. Those enemies are... I saw the affix. They're protected, which means, in addition to all the other garbage that's happening in this realm, they also have a damage cap. That affix just should not exist in this game. I don't believe in like just an arbitrary damage cap for like trash mobs. Similar to why I don't like Stand as One. It's it just doesn't feel good for certain builds. For other builds, maybe it's irrelevant. Maybe you can damage them easily through some other ways. But for this build, it's... Oh, and we haven't even gotten to the protected enemies yet. We're just dealing with this nonsense. Get wrecked. Okay. Now... well, we saw arbitration proc, which is another good thing. So... What's the way to do this? Let's just do this. There's a good chance that this fight ends up taking longer than the actual boss fight. Oh my god. Okay, let's just do this again. Just need one of them to die. A couple of them are at death's door, but not quite dead. Alright, come on. Let's end this. Ooh, we've got a master fight as well, which is also going to be irritating. Okay. You guys done? Okay, finally. I think now we can attack. There we go. Let's hopefully shut down this resurrection. There we go. There we go. Alright. Fantastic. In a few more levels, sure, I guess that's fine. More intelligence. I'll take it, I guess. I think really nothing there. I guess we'll do some of these optional fights. Oh, this is straight into the, is this the master? This is the master fight. So we'll start out with a good old-fashioned blank slate. Get rid of your trait. While our Dreadwhite is still provoking, let's maybe just punch them, see how that goes. Okay damage. The extra defense in the realm, I think, is helping them out a little bit. Vivifier. While you're still provoking, let's do double rabbit dementia. Okay, yeah, we killed one of them. Of course he's gonna come back. But Star Pact and then subsequently Corpse Explosion should do a bit of damage, maybe? No, not quite. Alright. What should our duelist do? I think now is the time for this. Hopefully they don't heal. Okay, yeah. The provoke is gone. Now Ebony Ant. I think we just do this again. And this should break them wide open. And now the rest should be easy. There we go. This has given us one more rank of Shapeshifter Mastery. It's pretty easy in the end. Is this a thing, or is it just part of the scenery? No, it's definitely a thing. Again, while our Dreadwhite is provoking, I think... Oh my god. The boss fight is gonna be... Yeah. So, I believe Nephilim Shield Bearers are the ones that are giving them stand as one. So maybe we can kind of target these guys down. Obviously we cannot target things down with Rabbit Dementia, it's just a random target. But maybe next time, if it's our Animatus's turn, we can have him manually target the creatures that are so annoying. You cannot cast because you're silenced, so I don't know, just attack. Oh, what? Oh my god. So I've got an issue with the interface in this game is that it's really too easy for your finger to slip from attacking the enemy to attacking your own target, and then there's no confirmation either. There needs to be a more, there needs to be some sort of confirmatory step before you do something to your own party, something hostile to your own party member. And if you're not doing it through a macro, if you're just doing it through manual attacks, the game really should ask you, hey, are you sure you want to do that? Anyway, let's just do the thing that I said I would do. He's dead. He's back, but he should be sent to hell again. There, he's gone. So we gained some favor, that's why we did that. It's the end of this. Just a chest with nothing too exciting in it. Alright. Nothing there. Alright. What's here? Another chest. And what is down here? Alright, and I believe we've already donated. Yes, we have. Oh, easy. Right now, what are we gonna do? Well, let's cool low-level nether stone. Should we do these optional combats before the nether boss fight? Doesn't really matter, I don't think, because we're not close to another favor rank, but I guess we'll do these. And these guys don't have a shield bearer among them, so we should just be able to just ruin their day pretty easily. Hopefully the boss fight does not have any shield bearers in it either. That would be great. Alright, what about you guys? You have one shield bearer among your party. Let's just do it like this. One down. And we've done some damage to the rest, hopefully, before they suddenly become immune to everything. Okay, you guys done? Oh my god, what is this? What is this? What nightmare have I trapped myself into? Oh my god. Okay. Now, let's try and finish this guy off. I mean, we killed him in the end, but he resisted a lot of hits along the way. Okay, now let's just try and finish this off in the old-fashioned way. Dead, 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 and you're dead, and you're dead. Okay, you are all dead. Get wrecked. Alright, so I think this is the last optional combat. Alright. Oh, two different shield bearers, of course. Of course. well, we're, you know, correctly attacking one of them. And hopefully our unicorn can shut down its resurrection. I think that's what happened. And now let us manually attack this second one. Oh my god. Its realm property is just... Oh my god. Okay, I think we should be able to take him out. There we go. Hopefully we can shut down his resurrection, although I think the rest of them are pretty much dead. There we go. Alright, let's just take a look around. Well, there's the machine. Ooh, so that gives us a lot of favor. Still not that close to another favor rank. I guess we'll pick up that. Alright, let's go fight this nether boss. What's your deal, my friend? This creature's eyes are permanently crossed. It's alarming to see how much trouble the majority of your foes tend to have with their eyes. Much like a beach ball that lacks air, Chroma awkwardly rolls towards you while screaming about how much it wants to eat your creatures. Unsurprisingly, your creatures attack. I mean, he looks pretty gnarly. You've got no temporary traits, but your actual trait is your creatures only take damage from one class at a time and are immune to debuffs and are immune to interact damage. At the start of this creature's turn, the class changes. We have no nature creatures. Good to know. One thing, yeah, this is why I mentioned that this is going to be a really annoying fight. So because there's no point attacking, all we can do is cast. Indirect damage isn't going to do anything to them, which means... Well, are their classes also changed to nature? Or is it just the class that they're able to take damage from? So their class is changed to nature. No, well, this one was already nature, so the Waspid, he's confused. So maybe if he attacks one of his teammates, he could do damage. The boss himself is life. The Carnivorous Inquisitor is also nature. He could damage some of his friends, help us out. If I'm interpreting this boss correctly. Nevertheless, for the rest of us, even though this isn't going to damage them, I do believe we should do this just to start buffing ourselves. Next, double cast Reincarnation and hope that we survive their turn that's about to come. The 5 in a row. That's about to happen. They're immune to debuffs, so I guess we're lucky that we had these buffs, these debuffs, pre-placed on them. Yep, they attacked themselves, but I don't know if that did anything for us. So once again, I think we use our macro to do our buffs, and then with our next two creatures, actually with our Centaur Duelist, I think I'm going to hold off, because we might be able to make his spells free if we let him wait one more turn. So with you... I was going to cast Archangel's Blessing, but yeah, I think we should wait. Just wait. Yeah, or do another reincarnation, why not? Buff everyone up a little bit more. And then our Ebony Ant can use his Ethereal Archangel's Blessing. Give everybody a good amount of health. Okay, now he's taking damage from... I believe that's sorcery. I think. It's always tough when a boss fight kind of introduces a mechanic with its own symbols, but I believe the color coding is what we've got to pay attention to. And if that's the case, then sorcery it is. So we've used that. Okay, we've used that. What else can we do? One thing. Now blank slate is showing up correctly on yours. I guess maybe we just had to unequip it and re-equip it. Also, let me look again. From one class at a time, and so again, if I'm interpreting this correctly, then our Rift Dancer should be able to do some damage to them. What I'll do is I will do... what to do even? Archangel's Blessing or another reincarnation? Let's just do another reincarnation. Scale ourselves up a little bit more, you know? And then our Rift Dancer with a clutch Archangel's Blessing can do... Spell Gem sealed after casting is... Your blank slate, for some reason, is still showing up as the wrong color. Don't know why that is. It's... if you look at it on the right, it is correctly showing up as a sorcery type spell. Okay. Rune of Sa. Unfortunately, we're only going to be able to do this once. I mean, we might as well just do it, I guess. Oh, we did some damage to it. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be a case of just wait until it cycles over to death, and then, although our Vivifier also is sorcery class, but like attacking it with a creature that isn't built around actually attacking the enemy, I don't think is gonna accomplish anything for us. So again, let's just double cast Reincarnation. And I think at this point we will stop reincarnating our Dread White, because at this point I think he's more useful to us alive than dead. So our Duelist... oh, see, it doesn't even matter if our spells are free, because they're going to be sealed. So I guess all you should do is cast Archangel's Blessing. And our Ebony Ant, that's sealed, okay. Is there anything you should do? We don't have any debuffs that we need to take care of. They don't have any buffs as far as I can see. Just to defend, I guess. Okay, now you're taking damage from death. So I'm gonna try and attack Chroma. Yeah. Oh my god, this is so painful. And if we don't kill him, we're gonna have to wait for ages to get another chance. Oh, what we should do, here's what we should do. We should germinate Chroma. But we can germinate with some of our other characters. We should germinate Chroma to push him down on the list, so that he doesn't get another turn. But with our other creatures, yeah, we'll germinate him with the Duelist. With everyone else, I think we need to start doing some damage to these guys. Oh my god, this realm property is killing me. It is actually literally killing me. Oh my god, okay. The Dread White. I think now we've got to germinate Chroma. Wait, what? Oh, wait, you are death, so why didn't that work? Hang on. Why didn't that work? Dread White dodged the attack. Prevented by Rainbow Shield. Like, oh, is it because... Oh, it's because the ethereal gems are still counted as their own separate things instead of as their own, you know, indigenous classes, and instead of the class of the creature that casts them. That's a little annoying, but I can see why that might be the case. All right, let's do a double cast of Rabid Dementia. One of them is blighted as well. Oh my god, this realm property is the actual worst. We're doing some damage to them. We've killed the boss once. He is gonna come back, so don't get too excited. But before he gets a chance to go, we are gonna be able to do... There we go, hitting the boss. And that was enough to kill him, okay. Okay. We did it. We got through the Rainbow Shield. And we killed the Nether boss. We should be getting some more loot at the end of this. And some more favor with 4080. And all in all, pretty good. And as I mentioned, I am not summoning any Divination Candle enemies when they have damage resistance and Resurrect on Death. And potentially fused with those stand as one jokers. We are done. We are done. We are calling it good. Let's go back to Siralim. And before we sign off, let's recap what we did. Well, we really only had one important thing to do, which was to kill the Nether boss. As soon as we stepped into the realm, we saw the scale of just how annoying the realm properties were, but we fought our way. We slogged our way through combat that was painfully slow because of all the annoying defensive buffs and synergies the enemies had, but in the end we fought the Nether boss, and he wasn't even able to do that much to us. Like, his only gimmick is that, you know, that one class at a time thing. Like, he doesn't actually... It seemed like he wasn't actually doing anything, which made him an easy fight, but an annoying fight because of said gimmick. But the important thing is, we took him down, and we also saw our new Nether stone in action, and it seems like it's working pretty well. Didn't really... It's not like the Nether stone made the difference between victory and defeat in any of these battles, but in a subsequent one, potentially against a false god or a much tougher Nether boss, I think it could end up being pretty vital. But anyway, that's going to be all for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Despite the annoying realm properties, I did enjoy that final boss fight. It was pretty good. And I hope you enjoyed it too. And I hope you'll stick around for the next episode as well. And until then, take care.